This is Truck Camper Cooking. My name is Michael. I built out this DIY aluminum truck camper and I'm going to show you all about it today. So let's get right into it. So this is my 2014 F-150. I have a few minimal mods done to it. I'll start with the truck first and then we can go into the camper itself. So starting off, this is a 2014 F-150. It has the EcoBoost motor. It's a 4x4. It is the FX4 package, so it does have the nice leather seats, heated and cooled, has a navigation. I'll show you briefly inside. Now I have done a rear seat delete, so I made a platform back here. I have a clothes bar up top, but we can continue on the outside. So pretty simple inside, pretty simple outside. I have some Steely wheels from a work truck F-150 wrapped in a Kinda Cleaver RT. It's a 35 105 R17. Now I really like this tire because it is a skinnier tire. And I did buy these a couple years ago when they were a little bit better priced than they are now. I think they were just over $200 a piece, which is pretty good. Going around the front, I have some Baja Designs ditch mount lights. I have a Westin winch mount, which I really like. A lot of the winch mounts and bumpers on the market are pretty expensive, so I wanted a simple setup. This was 300 bucks or so. And guys, I apologize for the wind. I do have a GMRS antenna that I made on a custom metal bracket to my ditch lights. I do have some frame mounted sliders. For suspension, I'm running a BDS upper control arm and Fox 2.0 coilovers. I do really like this suspension setup. Now in the back, if you see here, I have trimmed the factory bed. Previously I had 37s on and I needed a little bit of extra clearance. The nice thing about these 35 10.5s is they do not rub at all. Now I have had some clearancing front and rear. Alright, so that's pretty much about the truck. It's a very nice full-size truck, has a good payload, and I find it to be a very good off-road vehicle. Most of my friends that I go traveling with have Tacomas, Lexus GX, different types of F-150s. And in my personal opinion, I really enjoy the 09 to 14 F-150. I think it's a great generation. All right, so let's talk about the camper itself. This is an all aluminum DIY camper that I designed and built in my garage. I used square tube aluminum and aluminum sheet metal. The square tube is 0.065 wall, and the sheet metal is 0.090 wall. I did draw this in AutoCAD. I used a program called Autodesk Fusion 360, and I was able to laser cut the sheet metal and have a metal supplier cut my square tube for me. So that really cut down on manufacturing. And then I assembled the whole thing in my garage using rivets and Sikaflex 252. Now I really think this is a strong structure. I have had this on the truck for about 8 months. Traveled to Texas and back, Colorado and back, multiple trips to the desert and the mountains, and I find it to be very strong. I do have a hatch on the side, an RV window, some clearance lights. I do have some reverse cameras on each side of the camper. I don't have those wired in yet. I do have some running lights, which I really enjoy. On the back, I have some trailer brake lights, reverse lights. I have a teardrop trailer door. I have a double pane acrylic window, another hatch, a couple exterior lights. This side I kept bare because I assumed I would have a bed on that side of the camper. I have some more exterior lights, another camera, the running lights in the corners. And it's a pretty simple outside. I wanted to keep it relatively stealthy but still effective. And I have roughly 6.5 feet by 6.5 feet. I tried to make this space as large as I could, but not make it too big. So if you look at the overall size, it's about 40 inches above the bed rail, a couple feet above the roof line of the truck. And then since I do have a short bed, I did extend the camper past where the tailgate would go. So I did remove the tailgate. Now on the roof, see if I can show you guys. So I do have 2 solar panels and a Maxxair Vent Fan on the roof. So those 2 solar panels feed into a Bluetti power pack, and that powers my Iceco fridge, the lights inside the camper, lights outside the camper, and I'm able to charge everything. So let's get into the inside. One of the really nice things about this teardrop trailer door, oh, looks like we have some weather coming in. All right, we are on the inside now. It's quite windy outside. So I'll show more of an entrance shot in a bit, but for now I am sitting on the driver's side of the truck, and I basically have a couch that converts into a bed. I have a kitchen set up on the passenger side. I have a sink in the corner. Here's a shot of the couch setup. This wall I have as a beadboard wall. The ceiling is cedar tongue and groove with some recessed 12-volt lighting. Here is the vent fan. The passenger side, I have a booze block countertop cutting board. It's basically a cutting board that I made as a section of my countertop. I did a drop-in sink here with a 5-gallon water dispenser. That water dispenser is hooked up to this Scepter tank. Eventually I'm going to relocate that into a better location. Now this chair looks like it's in the way, but I usually have it folded up either on the bed or on the floor. More on the passenger side, I have a plywood subwall with a peel and stick subway tile. That is the view through the window, which is really nice. And one of my favorite parts about this interior build is I have some reclaimed barn wood from my parents' barn in Texas, and I used an epoxy glaze coat to coat the whole surface. Now in the back I have some storage, so the countertop stops, and then I have this cubby, and I have 3D printed a few pieces so far. Some biodegradable soap, some spray, some water. This is one of my stoves. It's kind of a temporary utensil setup. Here's my fuses for my electrical book I'm reading. I 3D printed these curtain hooks, which is pretty sweet. And this is a very simple curtain setup. Now if we pan over to the back wall, it is definitely unfinished. This whole camper is a constant work in progress. But if you look at this side, I have the dual pane acrylic window. It's really nice as it pops out. It has a pull down bug screen as well as a pull up blackout shade. Looks like the wind might be slowing down a little bit, so I'll leave that open. Open this one back up for some ventilation. But yeah, that is basically my interior of the camper. It is very slick. I'll go ahead and move this chair out of the way so I can show you what's below. Alright, chair's out of the way. Temporarily, I have some Walmart drawers that seem to be working pretty good as a temporary solution. Here is my Bluetti power pack. Here's that hatch that we saw outside. Eventually I'm going to have some type of slide out. And I'm just keeping these shut with these simple rope. Here is my Iceco 12-volt fridge. It's on a fridge slider, so I'll show you guys that real quick. Now I did turn this fridge off for this video, but I'll show you what it looks like inside. It's a very good size. This is the VL45. I do have some space in this front left corner. Eventually I will put some batteries there. Here's an undershot of the sink and the Scepter water tank. I did a quick disconnect, which I find to be very nice. And here is the sink. So this is a 5-gallon water dispenser, and it is on top of a 3D printed base. So I'll show you how it works. Now I just have a simple drain going through the truck bed floor to keep it simple for now. I'll either put a catch basin or a hose outside. However, I am using biodegradable soap, so I'm not too concerned about that. Alright, let me go outside and show you the floor. So this is the entryway. Now I do have this removable carpet. This is a plywood subfloor, which I have 2x2 framing below. And then this is a vinyl sheet floor, which I really like. It's very sturdy. So let's get a few more views of the inside. Eventually I will paint this better and fill in these gaps better. I do have some custom cushions covers coming in the mail. Here you can see this is a slat bed design, and this front structure slides out. But yeah, this is basically my DIY aluminum truck camper. I really enjoy it. It has taken me across the country some, into the desert, into the mountains. I think it has a great airflow. It is insulated. On the outside, it is coated in Flex Seal, which is a questionable product, but so far it's actually been treating me pretty well. I've had 0 water intrusion, and it does encapsulate the rivets, which I do like. Alright, so thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. I'm happy to answer it, but I really just wanted to do an updated walk around of the camper. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. If you do enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. If you don't like it, let me know down in the comments as well. All right, hope you guys have a great day.